Hey Narwhals, I'm your host Luke Narwhal, and welcome back to another weight loss video. Hope you enjoy. I hate that so many social activities are centered around drinking and eating. For some context, I'm currently in my mid-20s, and these past 6 months I've went all in on fitness and losing weight. I've given up alcohol completely and try to keep going out to dinners at a minimum. I've always hated drinking alcohol, and this was the perfect excuse to go cold turkey. Meanwhile, my friends drink to excess. I'm talking about shots for everything. We can't even play a board game unless it's for shots. Whenever we go to dinner, they order to excess, on top of 3 to 4 drinks per person. Meanwhile, I try to find a healthy entree and sip a nice tea. Their reaction to me not drinking and not eating as much is to stop inviting me to places, and that just hurts my friggin' feelings. Especially in my state where everything is open. They go clubbing, eat, and drink a lot, while I don't. I've brought this out to them before, and their argument was, why invite someone who won't partake in the activities like we do? I'm just chalking it up to being in your 20s and immature, but it doesn't sting any less. Anyways, I just wanted to vent. Can we go hiking instead? Maybe it's time to find some new friends. I don't drink anymore. I get really ill during and after, so it's easier to just not. And now that I'm dieting, just being way more responsible and aware of what I put into my mouth, I know that I'd be the total wet blanket to that kind of environment. And that's okay, 100% okay. As we grow as individuals, it's okay to change friends. Just because you were next door neighbors growing up doesn't mean you have to be friends in your 20s. It's okay to take friendship breaks. It's okay to stop being friends with others if your lifestyles are just too different. I just reconnected with an old friend this weekend. We've been friends for 25 years, off and on. We've taken breaks, and it's made us much more interesting people and friends. Devil's advocate here, if you like them, keep them. I saw a life pro tip a couple days ago that said, just hold a glass of water. I would do seltzer and bitters, and make sure that they understand you already have a drink. I drink only beer. I take my time, and everyone knows that. I do understand people who do shots get drunk and start being stupid. I recently had to give a friend a talk because he gets stupid drunk to staggering levels, but I do like my other friends who drink. Instead of trying to change their behavior, start adding more activities where the primary activity is something other than food or drink. Fitness classes, hiking, rock climbing, hard board games, I like Euro games, etc. Look to things that you like that involve movement or heavy brain power. That being said, you can stick to a calorie deficit and still go out and eat and drink. If I'm not consuming alcohol that night, I order a lemonade seltzer or a Diet Coke. I order an appetizer to split with someone or just add an extra workout. If you still want to go and socialize with them, it's still an option. There are some people who just never grow out of the must drink to have fun scene. It sounds boring to me. I've been here before. It's an adjustment. Maybe they think because you're not eating and drinking as much that you're not enjoying yourself. I could be totally off, as I don't really know the situation like you do. You could tell them you're just trying to cut the processed foods and drinks, but that you still enjoy going out. But if they're acting like high schoolers with the uninviting and excluding, then drop them and find some new friends. Sometimes we outgrow friend groups as we change and mature. Also, finding friends with similar lifestyle habits as you makes you feel so much less alone in it all. Good luck. Have you thought about joining a fitness community? I teach spin at Cycle Bar, and while it is an expensive gym, I think what makes it worth it is the personal relationships that come out of it. Many of my riders have made good friends whose lifestyles are centered around wellness, and a few of them even met their spouses that way. There's different types of alcohol people. Type 1 needs someone to drink with, doesn't want to drink alone in a social setting because they feel dumb. Type 2, in social settings, they can drink by themselves, they don't give a crap. Type 3, drinks by themselves at home or at the bar, they don't give a crap either. Type 4, hardly drinks and can easily go without drinking. You need Type 2, 3, and 4. You currently have Type 1. The alternative is to find non-alcoholic people. That's definitely possible, but non-alcoholic people won't just come knocking at your door like the pizza delivery guy. You have to actively look for and pursue them by whatever means necessary. I've dealt with excessive drinkers and alcoholics. They are a mess. I don't care for drinking, but found myself drinking a lot when with them. Cutting them out was one of the best things I ever did. It saved me a lot of money and calories. I don't miss it. Once you cut them out, you will see your calories decrease and your money increase, an inverse proportion. Hard relate. Ever since I went completely sober in February, I found I have less in common with my pub-loving friends. And don't get me started on dating. People seem to be of the opinion that teetotalers are boring, even though I still enjoy going to pubs for the company or music and clubs to dance. In my case, I'm just taking this as a sign that I need to find new hobbies and activities and new people to do them with. Good luck to you. I feel this. I've recently had a conversation with my family that I don't want our get-togethers to be centered around food. If we get together around a mealtime, I want it to at least be a potluck style where everyone brings a dish and everyone can eat what they want, when they want, and if they want. The pressure to eat the rich, fatty lunch and dinner around a table together isn't good for anyone. And now that I have that problem solved, I've just started dating. You'd think the idea of meeting without the obligation to pay for dinner would be appealing to these guys, but turns out it's not. It's just seen as weird, lol. I have some friends who are the active kind and regularly invite me to hikes, dives, etc. when they can. But I also have some high school friends who like drinking and all that. Whenever I'm back home, they usually invite me out to drink, even though I've never socially drank in my life. I've tested alcohol a few times, not for me, and I'll probably just be sipping on an iced tea or a Coke Zero. I love them for including me regardless. So yeah, you should either find better friends or new ones with similar lifestyles. Make sure you're happy alone, or at least capable of it. I went through a phase of my life after a very bad event where I didn't want to be around people, pushed a lot of them away, and lost interest in the nightlife scene. Eventually, I wanted my old lifestyle back, but we all kind of grew in different directions. But I'm very content with spending an evening alone or going out to eat by myself nowadays because of it. Maybe look for some new friends. I'm currently looking for people into hiking, cycling, kayaking, etc. None of my older friends seem very interested, or they're too busy with relationships and whatnot. But I'm either gonna go alone, as long as it's safe, or try to meet some new people with similar interests. Regardless of what you do, keep your head up and keep moving forward. Firstly, I'm really sorry that you're experiencing this. It sounds frustrating and disappointing when you're working hard towards a goal. On ya for focusing on fitness, that's great. Just another devil's advocate position here, in line with what a few others have said. I think it's interesting to check in with your reactions to them at this point. I might be reading this wrong, so forgive me if I'm making an assumption, but in the way that you describe this, I'm reading a little disdain or judgment of your friends for their behaviors. It's fine for you to not want to drink, and it's fine for them to want to drink. For context, I'm 28 and not a massive drinker or party person. I share a bottle of wine once a fortnight with my fiance at home, but I can totally also see how and why people in their 20s want to party it up and enjoy themselves, and it's fair enough. From my experience, no one has ever given me crap for not wanting to drink or eating less. They may check in with me and be like, "Are you sure? I don't want you to go hungry," but they would never be jerks about it or stop inviting me. So one of two things is likely happening here, or a mix. Either your friends are genuinely immature and kind of idiotish, in which case, yeah, maybe moving on is needed. Or you might, even without realizing, have a slightly holier-than-thou attitude about your lifestyle and eating choices, and they're sensing the judgment and lack of enjoyment from you and responding accordingly. I've played drinking games sober before because I love all games, and I've also played while drinking with some sober friends in the group before. There is a big difference between non-drinkers who are chill and just get on with it and enjoy themselves and don't make a fuss, and non-drinkers who make it like a full-time job to make sure everyone knows they are not part of this game. Thank you very much. And that's totally their choice. But if they're not enjoying themselves and kind of bringing the mood down, well, I don't want to invite someone who isn't going to enjoy themselves. And this is coming from someone who spends most of her time gaming, rock climbing, dancing, and coffeeing rather than drinking. Anyway, just food for thought, not an attack on you. Like I said, it might not be the case for you, but it's worth thinking about anyway. Good luck either way. And that brings us to the end of the video, Narwhals. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please tap subscribe to join our awesome community, the Narwhals, and for more weight loss stories that help you stay on track. And here's our featured Narwhal of the day. 215 pounds to 160. Same shirt, almost 2 years apart. I couldn't even button it up when I got it. I still want to lose another 25 pounds, but I've come so far.